Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians every day. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Tune in to WURD Radio this Saturday at 10 a.m. for Saturdays with City Council. Join conversations that matter to your community with your local City Council members. Did you know myeloma is a blood cancer and that Black Americans have at least double the incidence of myeloma as any other race or ethnicity? Recent studies also show they face additional barriers and lower access to care. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society believes that every patient deserves access to the best care and support possible. With free access to education, nutrition consultations, disease information, and other resources, LLS is empowering Black communities with access to personalized blood cancer support. If you or your family are coping with a blood cancer, call LLS today at 1-800-955-4572 or visit lls.org to learn more.
Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on WURD Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L. O.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday, September 14th, that is. Oh my goodness, do you believe we are knocking on the door of 2024? Nick and I are always happy to have you join us. We're always grateful to spend some time with you. I hope you know that. So family, if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. I hope you are celebrating in a grand way, and I hope you are being celebrated in just a grand way. All right. So it's that time. It's that time to check in. We're just going to get right to it today. We're going to get right to it. Family, if you're visiting with us by way of socials, send us a comment to let us know that you are out there, or you can call us, and you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Let us know that you are out there too. Let us know how your day is going, how your week is coming along. Oh, because here we are at the end of the Love and Life week. Ooh. So to our listening family members, I just want you to know that we know that you're there and you are always appreciated. Always appreciated. Family, to you, if your light is shining a little dimly today, just know that I'm sending all the love and hugs that I can muster in this moment to you. I want you to know that you're not alone. You are most certainly not alone. And to the family, the wife and the extended family of Chris Odom, I am sending extra love and hugs as well. Just know. Just know that your tribe and your village are sending you love. And your entire WURD family. I'm going to take a moment to go to our socials. Some of our family members are checking in. Henry, hi there. Henry Purifoy is checking in, and he's sending love to everybody. Malcolm White, brother Malcolm White, is also checking in. He shares that he is watching and listening from West Mount Airy. Good evening to you, too. Good evening to you. And he's sending good evening to the entire WURD family. uh, Joey Parham. Hey there, Joey. He's sending love as well. He writes, "Hey, Missy, happy Thursday, aka Friday Eve." I know that's right. I know that's right. Friday Eve. And hey, beautiful. Donna Baker is checking in as well. Family, now listen, you too can check in. You can do so throughout the entire show, but feel free to comment in our socials to let us know that you are out there or give us a call because you can do that too. Yvette, hi there, beautiful. Yvette Music Songbird is saying, "Hey, Carol." Well, hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. So happy to have all of you join us. One of our family members is checking in on our phone lines. So why don't we go see who that is? Hello, and thank you for calling.
Yes, Friendly Fred, hi.
Hey, Fred, how are you today?
Okay, this is Austin right now. A little tired. But
Yeah.
I just want to say what makes a family special, family members are often close. They feel they can depend on one another for caring, guidance, and support. A family could include grandparents, aunts and uncles, godparents, or close friends. What is the most important thing is love or common interests that bind them together. And you can complete that. And right here, families provide material and non-material care and support its members from children to older persons or those suffering from illness, sheltering them from, but I didn't complete all that and everything, so I just wrote it
Okay.
down.
No, I appreciate that. Family is important. It's absolutely important. And I thank you for sharing that. Family is
You're
love.
welcome.
And family is love. Friendly Fred, that is, who always shares with us some love, some positivity, and just overall good vibes. Thank you always, Friendly Fred. Thank you. Thank you. One of our family members, Stephen Clark, is checking in. Hey there, Stephen. So happy to have you here with us as well. I'm going to go back to our phone lines because we have another family member that is checking in with us by way of phone. Hello, and thank you for calling.
What a day. Hi, child. What a day
Hi,
yesterday.
Ron.
Yes, we took a bus of seniors out yesterday. They provided it for us. We had a good time. And what made it so beautiful in the beginning, waking up. And then as the day concluded, when I got back in, I listened at your program. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for revisiting about the women with the breast cancer. I want to thank you for having that man that was on there that went through a prodigal son early on in his life. You see, when I speak about Carol, ladies and gentlemen, very sensitive, compassion with them children, and even with the elders that may have went on something that had happened in their life. And I'm telling the man today, making the distinction, it is a wonderful thing to include them in your programming and all the things that you have done. I am very appreciative. And when I was saying on the air about your cousin Robin, one night you had a program on, you were speaking on a Pacific. Robin called some lady up and told her, and the lady called in and said, listen to Cal program on that night. And I thought that for her to be so mindful and to want people to hear something, that of a significant, all things are significant, whatever the call is or whatever your topic is. And I want to thank you for being so sensitive. And I say this, not pandering to nobody or anything else, with all the things and what you have achieved, like many others, beloved, for you to be so sensitive with that education and very sensitive with your words. I notice I listen very intensely. When you respond to, you do it with dignity, beloved. You don't know how, yes, you do, but let me say, but it means so much. Who wouldn't care for someone that cares for other people and then to handle them with sensitivity? There's some things I've heard you say before. I'll remind you, maybe if it should be the will of the Almighty God, may you continue to include people in all the things you have done. And what I'm saying, it cannot be denied with the things places you have sung, and you have sung and spoken in Harrisburg and all those places. And to come right back where you come from, in the Delaware Valley, happen to be in South Philadelphia, and to be kind to people, you will be blessed with this. You always talk about your mother and that, the reunion of them at the picnic, something like that, making reference. Ask this, you'll be given. Continue to do what you have. So when you lay down at night and you take inventory with your life, to know that you have given like many others. But I say you in particular, to be so compassionate. It is compassion that touched me. No more, no less. And Cal, they ran me out of the place. All the women ran me out yesterday. No. I told them I was a homemade preacher. Yes, I just thank you very much and continue to do and continue to give. Blessed are the givers. Blessed are the givers. And you happen to be one. South Philly is very fortunate to have you out of many people that's down there, to have this one, to share their gift with all the things you have done in front of hundreds of people and come right back to your community. Thank you, beloved. Thank you.
Thank you, beloved. Blessed be. Blessed be. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Ron. Just thank you. Thank you, family. Thank you, family. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I don't take for granted that I get to spend the time that I do with you all. So I want you to know that too. Just thank you. I want to, in our first hour tonight, I want to continue some conversations. I want to talk about what's going on in the world. I want to talk about what's going on with you. As I do from time to time, I have different articles that I will, present so we can talk about some things. I do have those as well tonight, but I also want to know what's going on. What else is going on? Because, I don't know everything. I don't know all of what's taking place right now, but I do know some things. But what I'm going to do before any of you present a topic or call in and share one, I'm going to take one from the news. What's in the news? Let's talk about it. So as we know, Danilo Cavalcante was caught, the convicted murderer who escaped a Pennsylvania prison late last month, is now once again behind bars and is facing additional charges after a nearly 2-week manhunt that captured national attention and put our community on alert and at edge. He shared that he was planning to flee to Canada before he was captured. Now, as a result of him escaping and there being some other escapees, Pennsylvania Republicans plan to introduce bills to improve jail security. This article reads, in the wake of several recent jail escapes, state Republican lawmakers are planning to introduce a set of bills to improve county jail security, infrastructure, and staffing. I'm curious to know, family. I'm so curious to know, because here we are. How do you feel about the process, number one, that took place of him being tracked? I kept seeing news, alerts about him and about him having escaped, and every time they showed law enforcement, of course, now mind you, this is filtered because it was only what we were able to see. But every time they showed him, showed the law enforcement officers, you would see maybe 5 or 6 of them together, and they were together. You didn't see this like a wide shot of people spread out. And I'm sure there were a lot searching, but I was just curious to know what efforts they were taking to find him. And then the one thing, and I don't know why I felt some kind of a way about this, but I'm curious to know if you did too. There was a photo that was taken when he was captured. They took a photo of him, the officers themselves that captured him. They took a photo of themselves with him. I don't know why that photo bothered me so much. I was happy that he was captured. I was happy that he was caught. Now, mind you, I could have just been having a moment. This could be displaced emotion. I'll accept that. But I'm curious to know from you, like, did that bother you at all when you saw this photo of them posing like they were a sports team or something like that? They were kneeling in front. Like, what? Why was that necessary? Why? In any event, like I said, this could just be me. Could be me just tripping. And Nick, you can tell me too. Am I tripping? Because I don't know why that bothered me. It just bothered me. Did it bother you at all, Nick?
I heard that he was captured, but I wasn't able to actually look at the picture.
Okay. Yeah, there was a photo they were showing on the news, and they were showing them they were taking photos with their phones, and there was a big shot that was taken, and they were kneeling and just posing, and I didn't understand. I didn't understand. But in any event, family, I'm curious to know what you think and how you feel. So feel free to comment on our socials. Feel free to give us a call, and you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can also call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. You can tell me if you don't care at all. I'm curious to know that too. If you say, Carol, please, that I didn't think twice about that. I want to know that too. I'm curious to know because I still don't know why it bothered me so much, but it did. It did. It did. Another topic that I saw was that California schools are joining the growing list of districts across the country that are banning pride flags. This reads, as another academic year gets underway, more school boards across the country are debating banning LGBTQ plus pride flags, with civil rights advocates arguing that the flags are constitutionally protected expression. This week, 2 California school boards voted to ban certain flags, including the LGBTQ plus pride flag, amid concerns from parents who supported and opposed the bans. What do you think about that? What do you think about that in particular? What do you think? What do you think? Henry is sharing as a response to the question that I asked about Danilo Cavalcante that hunters got their trophy. Yeah, Henry, that's exactly what it was. And I realized that because there were a lot of man hours, there was a lot of resources that were used. There were a lot of people that um, spent a lot of time looking for him. But did the photo bother you? Let me ask you that. Maybe it didn't bother you at all, but did it bother you, Henry? I'm curious to know since you saw it. Did it annoy you in any way? I'm just curious to know. Just curious to know. Oh my goodness, family. So here we are, Thursday, September 14th. Woo! We are underway. We're talking about some things. We're talking about what's in the news in this first hour. Actually, we're talking about whatever you want to talk about as well. So if there's a topic that you want to discuss, let's discuss it. Let's dig deep. Let's get into it. Let's do that. Let's do that. But it's time for us to take just a short break. So know that the phone lines are open and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. But whatever you do, stay with us because we will be right back.
Severe flooding from recent hurricanes and other storms has left hundreds of thousands of cars, trucks, and other vehicles unsafe to drive. Flooded vehicles are supposed to be dismantled for usable parts or crushed for scrap, and a flood title should be issued to that car. But some shady dealers will buy a flooded vehicle, clean it up, and get it retitled with no indication it was flooded. Or uninsured cars will be cleaned up by the owner and sold online, also with no warning to the buyer. If the price is too good to be true, it probably is. Make sure to check for flood damage and have a qualified mechanic inspect the vehicle before you write a check. The free VIN check service from the National Insurance Crime Bureau is a good place to start. Head over to nicb.org to check it out.
To report fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. This is a public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Want to get out of just about anything and look like an earth-saving hero? Just use the environment excuse. High school reunion? Sorry, can't. Planetary obligations. Unfortunate bridesmaid's dress? Unfortunately, you promised the climate you'd buy more vintage. Chauffeuring teens? The earth really needs them to hoof it. The environment is always the best excuse. Find your out and opt in to Cutting Carbon. Just visit theenvironmentexcuse.org. Brought to you by WildAid.
Are you ready to party? The party is about to be on. Join us Friday, November 10th for WURD Radio's 20th anniversary celebration, an evening of Black excellence and elegance at the beautiful Fiddler Club in downtown Philadelphia. A cocktail reception gets us started at 6 p.m. Grab a bite, share a toast, or hang out with your favorite WURD host. And in recognition of this milestone birthday, we're bringing together the owners of the nation's 3 remaining Black talk radio stations, Melody Span Cooper of WVON Chicago, Tavis Smiley of KBLA Los Angeles, and WURD's own CEO Sarah Lomax exploring the future of Black independent-owned media. We'll have a special live performance, and the house will be rocking with a legendary DJ spinning from way back till today. More details to come. To get your tickets, visit wordradio.com/20th anniversary. And remember, membership has its privileges, or WURD members can still continue to purchase tickets at a discounted rate. Your membership will be verified after purchase. Our 20th anniversary celebration is brought to you by Comcast, Bank of America, United Way, Keystone First, Wells Fargo, United Healthcare, and Mainline Health.
We gon' celebrate and have a good time.
Thousands of kids across Philadelphia are trapped in failing, violent schools. Our kids deserve better. And it's time for lawmakers in our community to give our kids a fair shot. Right now, lawmakers are considering a program that would offer kids a free scholarship to go to a better school. Kids in Philly would be eligible for a scholarship up to $10,000. This would make sure every student in Philly has equal access to a good education. It's time for kids in our community to get the help they need. Tell our lawmakers to do the right thing. Visit PassLifeline.com today. Paid for by Commonwealth Action.
What's up, Philly? It's Solomon Jones. Here are some facts about Commonwealth Charter Academy. Fact: for more than 20 years, CCA has been offering a world-class cyber education at no cost to families, including a laptop, headset, and help with internet access. Fact: CCA has more than 24,000 students, with over 4,000 from Philadelphia alone, benefiting from a safe, secure cyber classroom experience streamed directly into their homes. Fact: 1,400 Pennsylvania licensed teachers provide online classroom instruction featuring personalized attention. Fact: last year, CCA offered over 900 fun and exciting in-person and virtual field trips, because it can't be all about pencils and books. Those are just a few of the facts. Find out for yourself. Enroll today at ccaeducate.me. The fall semester is upon us, but it's not too late to learn the facts and discover CCA. It's how school should work. Fact.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $596 million. $596 million. So don't forget to play at your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians every day. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
This is your celebration.
I'm Nehemiah Cotton from Babashi Transition to Hope,
And I want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. We thank you for all of your help, your support. To Babashi, you've meant the world to us. You've been a great partner to many more.
I'm Sabrina Tate from Babashi Transition to Hope, and I want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. Thanks for so many years of allowing people to have a voice who have been muted for decades. Happy anniversary.
I'm Rochelle Rogers from Pico, and I want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. Thank you, WURD, for uplifting the Black community and sharing our stories.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. So, in this first hour tonight, we are talking about what's in the news. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about everything, quite honestly, because I widened the net and said, if there's something on your mind, let's talk about that too. We don't have to, keep it, we don't have to restrict it to the topics that I'm introducing. If there's something that you have on your mind, let's talk about that too, because I want to know what's going on with you as well. Before the break, though, the topics that I did introduce were about Danilo Cavalcante. I started there, and I was talking about the photo that was taken that it bothered me. I don't know if it bothered you, but I'm curious to know. There was a photo taken of him with the officers that found him, and they posed. They were posing and taking shots, on their cell phones as well. Now, like I said, maybe I'm just working through something else. It could be displaced emotion, but I'm curious to know what you think, what you thought about it, what you think about it if you saw the photo, and just the idea of it overall. Just like, why? What are you doing? What are you doing? But that was listen. That's my own personal opinion. And that was what I think about it and how I felt about it. But I'm curious, like I said, to know. And you can share your opinion on our socials by commenting, or you can call us. Either way is welcome. So Ms. Gail, hi there. Gail is joining us. Gail Robinson, that is, and she said no white killer has ever been subjected to that except for Bonnie and Clyde. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that. Because I can't recall ever seeing it. I just can't. I don't recall ever seeing it. Just looked like a some sort of sports team together, like in any event. Henry shares he didn't see the picture, but the good old boys have that mentality. Yeah. Malcolm shares. Hey there, Malcolm. Malcolm White shares. I still haven't seen that photo yet, but I did see his face bleeding after the dog bite. Yes. Yes. And Mardia, hi there, beautiful. She's joining us tonight as well. And she shares, it looked like a jail flick. See, look at that. My words are leaving me. They're escaping me. Okay. Because I can't even comment properly. I want to go to our phone lines because one of our family members is calling in to join the conversation. Hello, and thank you for calling.
Hello, how you doing, Carol?
Hi, how are you today?
All right, I enjoy your show. Carol, can I ask you a music question?
Absolutely.
When you record an album, do you pick the songs or do the producers pick the song?
When I record an album for my project?
Yes.
Well, I pick the songs. Some songs are suggested to me. Some are suggested to me, but I pick the songs.
Is there certain writers you like dealing with?
Is there? I missed that question.
Is there certain songwriters you rather deal with?
No, not at all. If it speaks to me, then I don't mind sharing it and speaking about it. If I can find myself in the song and if the subject matter speaks to me, then no, I don't mind.
Okay. Thank you, Carol, for taking my call.
No, absolutely. Thank you for calling. Thank you so much for calling. So talking about our what's in the news and what's going on in the world, Gary Butler Sr. Hey there, Gary. Thank you for joining us. He shares the photo reminded him of the photos of people lynched with people posing around their bodies. Gary, that's it. That's it. That's what it felt like to me. That's exactly what it felt like to me. And I think that's why it struck such a nerve with me. It just I mean, Henry said it as well, like, they were posing with their trophy. That's what it bothers me. It bothers me so much. And it bothered me when I first saw it, and I just couldn't get away from it. I just couldn't get away from it, as you see, because I'm sharing it with you. I'm sharing with you how bothered I still am. Shirley, hey there, Shirley. Hey, beautiful. She is checking in with us on our socials, and she's sending a hello and a greeting from Florida to everybody. She shares that she's just joining the conversation. Well, I hope you celebrated your birthday in a grand way. Happy belated birthday to you, and welcome to the conversation. We have another family member who's joining us on the phone lines, ready to join the conversation. Thank you for calling.
Peace and blessings, my love.
Brother Tyrone, hello, beloved.
Look, let Farrah know, I'm saying Farrah. let Miss Renee know that I'm definitely going to send a check in because, y'all just took me under like I was on the operating table. And I definitely want to thank you. Thank you. Thank the brother, because I really needed that conversation. And you know what, my love? You're not going to believe this.
What's that?
I couldn't remember if I took my pills that morning.
No.
And I wound up taking them all.
You didn't take, no, you didn't take them again, did you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Tyrone.
I got to get this together. I got to get this. But first of all, peace and love to you. Much love and respect to my WURD family. And just thanking y'all, because I'm not going to, have y'all operate on me. That was so wonderful. Because y'all took about 20 minutes to serve me. So
because we care. Listen, listen.
I know
you
how
know
much
we
you
care.
love me.
Yes,
you love everybody. And my sister, if you don't mind, I've called Dr. Pearson every day and wasn't able to get in. But I really wanted to holler at that brother to thank him because like you and the good brother operated on me, that brother showed enough operated on everybody that called. And in terms of speaking about the dynamics of the political system, he did major surgery. So if you listen, Dr. Peterson, I just say I want to thank you, good brother, because you did a thorough job in terms of not endorsing anyone, but just talking about the political process. And my love, that's what we need. That's
do.
what we need.
No, we do.
So
you what?
This call is just a thank you to show you how much I appreciate you. Oh, yeah, and my love.
What's that?
My sister Jackie, she's one of the board members of the RAD, the Resident Advisory Board. She and I, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, walked through the community where the 12-year-old was in the dumpster, and the 16-year-old that was killed behind it, and then the 16-year-old that was killed 2 days after that. So we walked through that community, really talking with folks about just trying to see how they feel and trying to get some sentiment of, what's going on. And we got some interesting comments, so I don't want to take up a lot of time, but I'm definitely going to call Al Sharpton and share some of the stuff that we spoke with about the neighbors. But
Well, no,
that took a lot off of me.
No, I want to know. I'm curious to know because we've been talking, that's been an ongoing conversation talking about the violence in our city, particularly the gun violence in our city. And that cut deeply. That baby, that 12-year-old baby, that cut
I'm telling you, I
deeply.
was so hurt.
So
When they found that body, I rode through that community half the night, and I seen these about 8 or 9 young brothers at that dumpster, right at the spot where it happened, and they was looking at me like, "Who you?" But that hurted me, and the reason why she and I did this walk is because I really want to know or try to see what's going on in this community that they can assassinate a 12-year-old and discard his body in the trash like he wasn't nothing but trash. Wow, my God.
what the power in those words is just enough to hurt. But what did you receive from the residents in the neighborhood from by walking through? Like what were you
Very
met with?
quickly, a few things. One, lighting. They need more light. 2, cameras. They need cameras. 3, the police never drive through. But one thing that was very, very key, and I'm glad that this brother spoke up. This brother said, "I'm a felon." He said, "I'm a felon." And I was, right there, not at the moment, but, live right there where the boy was killed. He heard the shot. And he said, 30, 40 shots. Said the night before, 40, 50 shots. The night before, the same thing. And he said, "I'm a felon. And if I, get a gun just to protect me and my family, I'm jeopardizing my situation."
Right.
So I said, you know what? That's
Right.
something that we really need to look at and really need to examine. This boy cleaning up the community, he's concerned about it. He's not one of the folks that stepping back. He's trying to move forward. And because of this law, he's unable to have a weapon with all the weapons that's surrounding him and being used. So that's 2 things. But it was the walk, man, and I felt good because when I called you, I know you felt my pain. How I just felt so, broken. I mean, really broken that a 12-year-old can be assassinated and then his body discarded like he's not even trying.
I know.
What's going on in our community? What's going on in our community? But it took something off of me. And I just thank God that I'm walking with you, Ty. I'm not going to let you walk alone. So thank you for allowing me to share that. I just love you so much.
Do you know that I love you more?
I do.
I hope
do.
you know
And
that.
one thing that you always do, you always make me feel real, real good. And I thank you for that.
Good. I love you, Tyrone. And we're
And
going to get
thank
this
you.
medication thing together. You hear me? We're going to get this
Yes,
together.
we
We're going
got
to
to
figure
figure
this
out.
out. We are
Yes,
going
you
to
know
figure
what?
it out.
We didn't see none of the young people, to just ask. I mean, what can we do? Is there anything we can do to help y'all? Is there anything? But none of them, they wasn't out during the day. So we're going to have to walk at night.
Okay. Okay.
Love you.
I love you more. I love you more. Oh, family, if you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Tonight, in our first hour, we're having an open forum. I want to know what's on your mind. I want to know what's on your heart. I want to know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Before we have our Thursday with Dr. Z in our 8 o'clock hour. This hour is all about you. It's all about us. It's all about what's going on. I presented some topics for us to talk about. I have some more in mind as well if you can't think of anything that you'd like to share. But in the meantime, the phone lines are still open, and feel free to continue to comment on our socials while we take a short commercial break. But we will be right back, so stay with us.
What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day, or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90, or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership, or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for?
For more than a decade, Comcast has been committed to bridging the digital divide in Philadelphia and across the country. From connecting people to the internet to opening doors for the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and storytellers, they are helping to create a future that benefits generations to come. Now, Comcast is expanding their efforts through Project Up, their comprehensive initiative to help build a future of unlimited possibilities. Backed by a $1 billion commitment to reach tens of millions of people over the next decade, Comcast is working to ensure all Philadelphians have the skills, resources, and opportunities they need to participate and excel in an increasingly digital world. This includes partnering with community experts to build a network of digital navigators, trusted individuals who help build awareness around initiatives like the government's Affordable Connectivity Program, and teach critical digital skills to get more people online. Project Up, building a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/Project Up. Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to build a future of unlimited possibilities.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $596 million. $596 million. So don't forget to play at your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians every day. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
WURD is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older, depending on the contest. Persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employees are ineligible to win the prize. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
And we are back, family. Welcome back. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. So, family, I put the word out. I widened the net. I want to know what's going on with you and for you and what you would like to talk about. Feel free to share on our socials so we can talk about it. Do you hear me? And for those of you who would like to call, you can do that. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. I'm going to go to our phone lines right now because one of our family members is waiting to talk with us. Thank you so much for calling.
Well, good evening and sweet Thursday to you, Carol.
Oh, I like that. Sweet Thursday. Can I put that in my pocket?
Absolutely.
Sweet
Very
Thursday to you as well.
Thank you kindly. Look, I want to bring something I never heard anyone talk about on WURD. I want to talk about mosquitoes. You know, I'm thinking, and maybe you have an opinion and others might think, but the species of mosquitoes that are in Philadelphia now are very, very clever. Like years ago, you would hear them buzzing, you'd know, look out to kill, right? No more buzzing. Plus, I noticed they bite you in places you can't see, like maybe under the wrist or behind the knee or the back of the ankle. And I'm like, is this only happening to me, or is it other people experiencing mosquito sophistication? I think they got a training school or something. What do you think?
Listen, I think you are not alone in your train of thought because they tore my foot up. Not my arm, my legs, anywhere else, but they took just one little part of my foot. Like I had 2 mosquito bites on that part of my foot. And they were mosquito bites. They're distinct. I know them from, anything else. Like you might say, well, maybe something. No, they were mosquito bites. It was the weirdest
And
thing to me.
when you kill them, they're full of blood, more than a tick. And I'm thinking, what's going on? I guess in a different species, we need to have someone look into a discussion about the insects that are pestering, citizens of Philadelphia. I mean, I've had mosquitoes all my life, but I've never seen a crowd like it's now out here. It's almost like they're robotic.
They might be. I don't doubt it. They might be. I know. Listen, we are chuckling, we are joking, but they might be because we have so much going on out here. Look, with these lantern flies, which I've not seen very many of them this year, but we've got a lot of different species out here.
That's because I was catching them when they were born. I would take one of those lighter that you light the charcoal with, the long ones, the electrical ones, and I would light it and catch them under their wings, and I was burning them up in spring, early spring.
Were you? Well, listen.
Yeah, instead of smashing them, I was burning them.
They tore my tree. I had to have 4 of my trees cut.
Oh wow!
It hurt my heart. It hurt my heart, but they were killing my trees, and they were so the trees were that they were on, they like this cluster of trees, and their excrement is like this sweet sugary sap to wasps, mosquitoes, dragonflies. So I just had all of those things coming like never before to my yard because of their excrement. And like I said, it was a black sugary sap, so it was covering the ground because they were so far up in the trees. I couldn't get to them. I called, nobody could get to them, and but this sap was falling onto the ground, and it was horrible.
Well, I didn't know they had an experiment like that, but I noticed that they do behave like bumblebees and butterflies. Even butterflies are eating pollen. I never saw butterflies eat pollen like I'm seeing them now. But I noticed, that dragonflies eat pollen too.
I don't know much about those things. I just know I want them gone.
Maybe
I
it's
know
the
that.
new brand of honey we're going to all be dying to get.
Wait. It might be. Who
How
knows?
did you know it was sweet? How did you realize it was sweet?
Because that's what was told to me. Like I said, I called everybody to come out to look at these trees, to come out to service my yard. Pest control. That's what they said. They said it attracts these other insects because it's sugar. It's sweet to them. It's sugary. It draws them.
To fix your treeless problem, you can call Philadelphia Horticultural. Society, and they will bring landscape material out to your home at free of charge. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Thank you for that because my heart was so hurt.
Society. I would say ask for Sabir. I know he's going to really kill me for saying
He is going to kill you.
Samir. Ask for Samir.
Okay.
I was on a planning. They do it all over the community. You just have to call them and ask. They got plenty of plant material, trees and things like that.
Oh,
Tell 'em
I
what
sure
happened.
will. I will tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
love.
Okay.
Take
Have a
care.
good night. You too. Oh my goodness. Another one of our family members is calling in. Thank you so much for calling. How are you today?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Yusuf. Yes,
Hi,
Yusuf.
Yusuf. Hey, Yusuf. How are you?
Yeah, I want to speak on the problem the lady was saying with the mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm a herbologist. I believe in holistic health, and I use things from plants. Anything that I use comes from plants. There's a plant-based insect. It's a chemical, and that's what they'll do. They'll find a place wherever you spray, but they'll still find a place to bite you. But once you get that plant-based and eat you some garlic, eat garlic with whatever, mix some garlic with whatever you eat. That garlic will get in your bloodstream and it will deter them from biting you. And then you use the plant-based off that does not have DEET in it, and all you have to do is like spray it like on your clothes. You don't even really have to spray it on your skin. Though the plant-based stuff is not going to mess with you because it doesn't have DEET in it. They will stay far away from you. No, they will bite you nowhere. Nothing will bite you. No wasps, no flies, because they got these little tiny little flies. They look like nets. They buzz all in your ear and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, they buzz in your ear and everything. So you got to use that plant-based stuff, and they will stay as far away from you as they can. Because if you ever seen dogs and cats, when people take them out for walks and they'll roll around in the grass,
Yes. Yes.
you see them do that? Because their grass has an insect repellent, and it gets rid of their fleas and parasites, stuff like that. So people don't realize there is stuff that grows out there that'll take care of all that. See, this program is about love and life. It's about having concern for people. And that's what I try to do. I try to give up information because I have concern for, I don't like to see anybody suffer from anything. You know what I'm saying? And some people will call in first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and they don't have no genuine concern for people. It's all about what they want. No, I'll do for others, because I managed to avoid them insects decades ago, because I found out from my holistic lifestyle what to do to stop them. So if I hear somebody saying something like that, I'm going to call and let them know what they can do. When next time you go into Apollo's Herbs or some holistic health place, just ask the herbologist, and they'll tell you they have a plan for everything, and it will get rid of them insects.
Yusuf, no, I am so vested and interested in this conversation. And when you called the last time you were sharing some pertinent information with us, I want you to come on and talk with us. I want you to come on and talk with us about your lifestyle and about some of the changes that you've made as a herbologist. When would you please give Nick your information so that I can contact you? Would that be all right with you?
Well, I don't. Right now, I'm not in my own place. I'm sharing something with somebody, so I can't. I don't really. Yeah, because see, you might go to call me, and then you'll have contact with them and see.
Right.
I don't. I don't like for people to be in my personal business like that.
That's not a problem. You have an email address?
No, I have an email address, but I have to
Okay.
hook it up. I have to get my phone company to hook it up for me.
Okay, that's no problem. No problem. Okay, well, whenever you get, some contact information that you feel comfortable sharing with me, if you could give it to Nick offline, and then we'll connect if that's okay with you.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, family. Listen, here we are, Thursday, September 14th. We are talking about what we're thinking about. We're talking about what's on our minds. We're talking about what's going on in the news. We're talking about life. We're talking about all kinds of things. But if you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. This has been our first hour, which is when we were breaking all these things down. I wanted to talk with you guys about some other things too, but I'm going to save that for some other episodes. I do want to share before we go to commercial break that Michael Upshaw is checking in. Hey, Mike. He is sending good vibes to everybody. Just sharing love with everybody as well. As always, so happy to have you join us. Tara Lynn Turner is asking, where's Dr. Z? Well, Dr. Z will be joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. As you know, Thursdays with Dr. Z. Yes, the one and only Dr. ZENIDA Driver. Yes, yes, yes. Raphael Suleiman is checking in as well. Hey there, Raphael. And Malcolm White shares, that's interesting what Yusuf was sharing. I've noticed that when people are walking their dogs. Yeah, my baby does it too. She does it too. Eric is joining us. Hi there, Eric. So nice to have you with us as always. He's sending prayers out to the 90 displaced people whose homes and businesses were totally destroyed in Oxford, Pennsylvania. His heart and our heart goes out to each and every one of them. I too share that with you. So good evening to you as well. Family, we're going to take a short break, but stay with us. When we come back, Dr. Z will be with us for Thursdays with Dr. Z.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on Reality Check.
We had some more shootings over the weekend. There were two parties, one in North Philadelphia and one in West Philadelphia, and we had 12 people who were shot, one who was killed. And I think we don't think enough about the fact that it's awful and tragic that we have to deal with this level of gun violence every single week. And every single time it seems as though we say the same things. You know, we say, hey, you know, we got to do better. We need to do better. We need to stop. We need to figure it out. But I don't think that it can be figured out until we really come to people, everyone coming together. That is law enforcement, that is the community, that is the political establishment, that is the city planners and the people who deal with all of the things that are going on. Every single person, it has to be involved in solving this problem.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds this week from Reality Check on WURD Progressive Black Talk Media.
What's up, Philly? It's Solomon Jones. Here are some facts about Commonwealth Charter Academy. Fact: for more than 20 years, CCA has been offering a world-class cyber education at no cost to families, including a laptop, headset, and help with internet access. Fact: CCA has more than 24,000 students, with over 4,000 from Philadelphia alone, benefiting from a safe, secure cyber classroom experience streamed directly into their homes. Fact: 1,400 Pennsylvania licensed teachers provide online classroom instruction featuring personalized attention. Fact: last year, CCA offered over 900 fun and exciting in-person and virtual field trips because it can't be all about pencils and books. Those are just a few of the facts. Find out for yourself. Enroll today at ccaeducate.me. The fall semester is upon us, but it's not too late to learn the facts and discover CCA. It's how school should work. Fact.
Thousands of kids across Philadelphia are trapped in failing, violent schools. Our kids deserve better. And it's time for lawmakers in our community to give our kids a fair shot. Right now, lawmakers are considering a program that would offer kids a free scholarship to go to a better school. Kids in Philly would be eligible for a scholarship up to $10,000. This would make sure every student in Philly has equal access to a good education. It's time for kids in our community to get the help they need. Tell our lawmakers to do the right thing. Visit PassLifeline.com today. Paid for by Commonwealth Action.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $596 million. $596 million. So don't forget to play at your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians every day. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD Radio, 900 AM and 96.1 FM, WURD, Philadelphia. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. That success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. You know, the time goes by so quickly. That first hour went by so fast. I feel like, I just introduced the topic, but here we are because it is Thursday. You know what it is, what time it is as well. It is Thursdays with Dr. Z. That's when we talk with none other than our beloved Dr. ZENIDA Driver, who is the Executive Director for Sunrise Community of Pennsylvania. She is a lifelong student of human behavior and social interaction with over 15 years of experience as an accomplished trainer, professional speaker, and supervisor in the field of human services. And she's going to talk with us today about some things that I can't wait to get to. So without further ado, family, I invite you to the conversation with Dr. ZENIDA Driver. Well, hello there, beautiful.
Hello, Carol. Hello, everyone.
How are you today, Dr. Z?
I'm great. How are you?
I will not complain. We're always happy to have you with us. Always, always happy to have you. And, I always find our conversations interesting. Always, always, always. As do our family members, because they always share with us that the conversations were informative. So, Dr. Z,
yes.
Here we are talking today. I know you've got a topic for us, one with which I am completely unfamiliar. So I can't wait to get into it. You are talking today, is it about dysmorphic disorder? Body dysmorphic disorder?
Yes, we are. That's what we're covering today.
What is that?
So, when we talk about this idea of body dysmorphic disorder, also known as BDD or dysmorphic disorder, it's the idea that an individual is obsessed with how they look. They're obsessed with some part of their body that they're not happy with, that they feel like other people are looking at them in a way that may not be always true. And so it's this overly obsession with self. I don't like the way I look, and it consumes just about every part of their life.
Oh, that sounds so sad. It sounds so depressing.
And it can be because ultimately a lot of times the things that the person doesn't like about themselves is only something that they see, but in their mind they feel like everyone sees this, everyone is looking at this. The best example that I can think of is when we have that pimple on our face, right? And when we first see the pimple, it looks small, but then we just become obsessed with the pimple and we're looking at the pimple all the time. We can't take our eyes off of it, and our mind is getting bigger and bigger, and the pimple probably is the same size as it was when we left out. But because it's there, we're consumed with it. It's that same thing that a person struggles with when they have body dysmorphic disorder. And it also is, I know we talk a lot about mental health. It is also a mental health disorder, which is classified in the DSM-5.
So it's a disorder and not a condition.
No, it's a mental health disorder.
So when we refer to a challenge as a disorder as opposed to a condition, does that mean it's more of a severe challenge?
So a disorder is just actually is medical. It falls within our, as we say in our clinical guidelines, our clinical books. And so now we have symptoms, we have things that we look for, particularly in this individual, to see if they are ultimately struggling with BDD. body dysmorphic disorder.
Oh my goodness. Family, do you hear this? No, okay, I'm like I said, I am completely unfamiliar with body dysmorphic disorder, but I feel like we see a lot of it from some of our family members on social media. Well, I'll say our extended family members because I'm speaking of people that I don't know, but everybody's family to me. So everybody's family, but I'm speaking of those with whom I am unfamiliar that I don't know personally. So let me be clear when I say that in case somebody says, well, she said her family has body dysmorphic disorder. No, I'm just talking about people that I see on social media or, in other areas of life. So I do want to be clear. Let me clarify. Before I move on this topic, though, I do want to share with you some love that you are getting on our socials, Dr. Z. You know, everybody loves Dr. Z, but Carolyn Turner, she had asked, wait a minute, Dr. Z, the one and only? And I said, yes. And so she shares, you are such an awesome person and professor. And she shares that you made her work hard in your class. I love it. I love that. I love that. But she also shares that she loves you and she appreciates you so much, so very much. And she is so grateful that you pushed her. She shares verbatim, thank you for pushing me. So she says, I love you. Listen, it's a love fest. Okay. And I love it. But because listen, we love Dr. Z too. We definitely love you here. You know, I do. You know,
I
I do.
love you too. I love you all. Hello, Terralyn. I definitely pushed her. And look at you now, Terralyn. Look at you now.
So going back to the topic at hand, body dysmorphic disorder. So how do you diagnose that?
So we really start just looking at symptoms. We start to look and see it's well, let me back up. One thing I'll say, it's really obsession. So really the first thing we're looking at is this individual obsessed with some part of themselves. You know, one type of body dysmorphic disorder that's really common is muscle body dysmorphic disorder, meaning the person who works out, they're the gym guru and they are consumed with their body. They want their body to look a certain way, which is good, right? That's a good thing. But this person is overly obsessed with the idea of shaping their body a certain way. You see this a lot with both males and females getting the various surgeries where the person may get one surgery and maybe augment some parts of their body, but next thing you know, they're getting a different surgery and another surgery because no matter what they do, they're not satisfied with how they look. That is how we'll start to say, okay, is this individual, well, some of the ways in which we'll say, is this individual obsessed with themselves to the point that it could be a clearable diagnosis for BDD?
So when you mentioned you were talking about one form, how is there a set number of of forms, or how many forms of body dysmorphic disorder are there?
It's really just body dysmorphic disorder, but then you have just that muscle body dysmorphic disorder, which just really focuses on the person's muscles in their body and their physical, of how they look physically. But really, body dysmorphic disorder is just a general criteria, just a general disorder, but it can be obsessed with, my arms, obsessed with my legs, obsessed with my face, my lips, the bags under my eyes. It can be anything. It's just really the idea that the person is obsessed with some aspect of their self that they do not like, to the point that they'll do anything to change it or fix it.
So people who have plastic surgery, would that be a symptom, a part of it, or would it not be associated at all?
I want to be careful with that because it could be just someone wants to have, surgery to fix a part of their body that they're not happy with. That's not necessarily body dysmorphic disorder. It's an obsession with it. It's that's all I think about all day. It's invading in my everyday thinking. It's stopping me from doing things that I want to do. It's actually leading to social anxiety. I don't want to go outside because I think this person is going to look at me, or these people are going to look at me. So this person then retreats into social isolation and they stay home because they think everyone is looking at, if I can say, the pimple on their face or the thing about them that they don't like. That is the difference between maybe someone who just wants to have surgery to fix a part of them, maybe that they want to enhance. But we do
Mhm.
see it a lot with surgeries because we see people who they'll get one surgery done and then they'll go back and they'll get 2 and 3 more, and it becomes an obsession for them after a while.
Right. You hear or I've read in some cases people say that. They say, "Well, I had the first surgery and then I just couldn't stop."
Mhm.
I was curious to know if that was the reason for my question. Family, if you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, and we're talking with Dr. Z, Dr. Zenida Driver. That is, it's Thursday, so Thursdays with Dr. Z. That's what it is. Tonight, we're talking about body dysmorphic disorder. So, if you have a comment or a question, feel free to share it on our socials. You can even call us as well. And you can do that by dialing 215 634 8065. You can even call us toll free. You can do that by dialing 1-866 361 0900. It's wow. It's just so interesting to me because I feel like we see a lot of people navigating this particular disorder. I
Mhm.
feel like we see that particularly, like I said, and especially on social media.
Yep.
Tara Lynn is sharing, she's commenting on our socials, and she asks, can we relate that to the trends in butt injections when they are extremely large and unnatural? Tara Lynn, I had that same question. I was curious to know that.
We can relate it to anything if a person is obsessed with it. Meaning, let's just say someone did have just an initial injection and then they're not
Right.
satisfied and then they go back and they want more injections on top of the initial injection. I wouldn't say the initial injection is
Okay.
body dysmorphic disorder. I just may say this person may have a desire to enhance a part of their body. But let's just say even after they do that, even after they've tried to or implemented some type of intervention to quote unquote fix what they felt like wasn't okay, they want to go back. That's when it shifts from just minor augmentation of our body to maybe BDD of some type.
So, family, what I'm going to preface this, what I'm about to say, by sharing that this is my question alone. This is, nobody else has asked me to ask this. This isn't the station or what have you. But I want to talk about these BBLs and my question about that because, and it relates to the question that Tara Lynn just asked. But I'm curious to know because it feels to me, it seems to me, let me be clear, that that's that's obsession out the gate before you get into because it sounds to me like what you're saying, Dr. Z, is there's some repetition associated with the disorder. There's repetition in the obsession, but with these BBLs, that seems like just an onset of obsession. Like I
Mhm.
need this, I have to get this. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
am I reaching with that or?
No, no, not at all. Because I think if we the obsession can come after, we talk about just the injection that Tara Lynn just referred to. But let's just say a person becomes obsessed before the injection. They're on Instagram nonstop looking at other bodies, comparing themselves to other
Okay.
individuals, obsessed with someone else's body because they're not satisfied with their own body. That could be a symptom for BDD. It's
Mm.
again, maybe I'm not obsessed naturally just with looking at myself, but I'm
Mhm.
obsessed with looking at other people who I admire and would like
Okay.
to look like because I'm not happy with how I look. It's one thing to look at someone and say, "Oh, this person looks really nice," or "He
Right.
looks really, I love his physique." But it's another thing just to be overly consumed with it and then go
Mhm.
through this comparison of, well, my body doesn't look like that. And then we start to beat ourselves up around how our body looks because we do not look like the image that we have seen as ideal
Right,
or
right, right.
ideal body.
So when you mentioned about like someone who's into bodybuilding, my first thought was, okay, so from where does this disorder come, and is it innate? Was it there as a child? Like how does this disorder develop, or from where does it come?
It could
Especially a
come
disorder of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. It could it it could come from childhood. It could come from low self-esteem growing up, being told you weren't good enough. It could come from just maybe just not feeling good about ourselves. There's not a lot of research that support the psychological causes of it. But one thing we do know, it does root back sometimes to low self-esteem and childhood trauma.
Oh, Tara Lynn has a great question. She asks, with that validation, can the disorder be labeled as an addiction?
Yes, it could. That's
Ah,
a compulsive disorder.
and she also shares that she sees a biopsychosocial perspective in it.
Okay,
Would you
Tara,
agree with me?
paying attention to class. I see you.
Listen, I'm loving Tara Lynn right now. I
Yes,
love,
that would
listen.
definitely be some information that would be included on the biopsychosocial, because that is rich data for someone who's working with that individual to pay attention to say, okay, what does this mean? Because again, I really want to emphasize that just because I want to change something about me does not mean I have BDD. But if I become overly obsessed with the idea of changing this part about me, and then it causes me not to do something because I am not happy with how I look, and I become obsessed with it, that is where it transitions from, I just want to lose weight and look better in my clothing, to obsessed with losing weight and looking better in my clothing.
And right now I'm imposing my own personal view about BBLs. That's what it is, because I just don't understand. I don't want to understand, but I don't understand. I'll say that. And I have some difficulty with understanding why anyone would want one, but to that point, well, here we are.
But I will
Malcolm
say too.
shares. Oh, I'm
Okay, go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Malcolm shares, he shares those BBLs are crazy and life-threatening. That is insane to me, because they are, from what I understand, are life-threatening. And he shares the thighs look kind of off in comparison to the booty, and that's not a good look. I think the same thing, Malcolm. I think that same thing, which is why I was curious to know if, that was a what that is, the desire, that strong desire, because it has to be a strong one, because there's some dedication in there and intention. That's intention.
It is. And I think social media has made that so popular now, right? That's you look on the social media, we look at our celebrities, it's the new common trend. So some people are jumping on it because it's very trendy, but then also some people just are not satisfied with how they look, and they want to, enhance their bodies. And you're right, as we heard Malcolm say, and you're alluding to, Carol, that sometimes it does get extreme. But I think, again, that extreme part of it is the BDD part of it. The initial part of it may just be that I don't like the way I look, and I just want to enhance it.
The enhance sounds like a good thing. It sounds positive. Dr. Z.
Positive reframe.
Okay, it sounds so positive. And you know what? I'm trying to stay there, because, and let me be clear, family. And I want you to know, because if this is you, if you do have a BBL, what I am saying, that I personally, I just don't understand the desire. But at the same time, I am not judging you for having it. I'm not judging you for even wanting it. I'm asking the questions because this is where we do that. This is an open forum, and we share information here, and we discuss. So I do want to know if it is an addiction, if it is an obsession, if it's just a flat out desire, of the individuals that have them. And I know that one person cannot speak for everyone. But I'm asking some questions just so that I have a better understanding, just a better understanding. That's all. I just want to be clear about that, because y'all know I'm not judging you. I am not judging. I'll be the last one living in a glass house throwing stones. So, family, listen. Here we are. We're coming close to the time to take a break, but I'm encouraging you to join the conversation with Dr. Z and I. It's Thursdays with Dr. Z, and we talk about everything. Tonight, we're talking about body dysmorphic disorder. That's what we're talking about. Something that I am just so unfamiliar with. So I'm anxious to hear everything that Dr. Z has to share with us tonight. But if you too have a question or a comment, feel free to share it on our socials or give us a call. And while we're taking this break, know that the phone lines are still open and you can continue to comment. And we will read them when we come right back from this short break. So stay with us, family. We'll be right back.
Why is WURD important to the community?
It's important that there's someone from the community that's authentically talking about the problems and all the steps that need to be taken to get to a better place.
And it gives them a platform and an opportunity to share their expertise and love of the culture.
And it's critically important that people have an opportunity to speak, and it's even more important that people have an opportunity to be heard.
WURD is the community and of the community.
WURD serves as the voice for the community.
It gives a sense of connectedness among people who aren't necessarily in front of each other physically, but they feel and connect with each other over the air.
I'm so glad they're coming to Mantua.
It's in the name. WURD is the word. WURD gets the word out to the community. WURD connects the community. WURD empowers the community. WURD embraces the community.
We are 20 years strong, giving voice to the community, and without the community, there will be no WURD. We are one and the same, and it is not a game. WURD.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Offs, excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Thousands of kids across Philadelphia are trapped in failing violent schools. Our kids deserve better, and it's time for lawmakers in our community to give our kids a fair shot. Right now, lawmakers are considering a program that would offer kids a free scholarship to go to a better school. Kids in Philly would be eligible for a scholarship up to $10,000. This would make sure every student in Philly has equal access to a good education. It's time for kids in our community to get the help they need. Tell our lawmakers to do the right thing. Visit passlifeline.com today. Paid for by Commonwealth Action.
Supporting WURD, the Energy Co-op, a Philadelphia nonprofit cooperative, supplying renewable energy to its thousands of member owners for 25 years. According to EIA, our country is projected to reduce carbon emissions by as much as 38% below the 2005 level by 2030. By choosing 100% renewable electricity from the Energy Co-op, PICO, and PPL customers can contribute to Pennsylvania's progress towards net zero carbon emissions. 12 months fixed rates for renewable electricity are now available. Learn more at theenergy.coop. That's theenergy.coop.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy.
This is Lucille Ijoy with a vignette about voting. With things that are going on in this nation, let's join hands and mention voting every time we get an opportunity. We can say, I register, I vote, I must. Yes, I register, I vote, I must. This is an easy reminder. Voting really does matter. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let anyone say it doesn't matter. Just stand tall and say it with gusto. I register, I vote, I must. Yes, I register, I vote, I must. Say it again. I register, I vote, I must.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
And we are back, family. Welcome back to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. It is Thursday, so it's Thursdays with Dr. Z. And tonight we're talking about body dysmorphic disorder. Before we continue the conversation, I do want to share that some more of our family members are joining us. Miss Joanne Dormont is checking in. Hello there, beautiful. She's sending peace and love to everybody, to Kayla J, to Nick, to the entire Word family, to our guests. Just peace and love. Peace and love right back to you, beautiful. Miss Lily is checking in. Hello, beautiful. She's sending love as well to everybody, to Niall, to Nick, to Dr. Z, and the entire Word family. Love right back to you, Miss Lily. And my cousin is checking in. Hey there, Junebug. June Nixon is checking in. Good evening to you. She is sending love to everybody as well. So we're talking, like I was saying, about body dysmorphic disorder. Now, Dr. Z, I read that treatment of BDD, as you were calling it,
Mm-hmm.
can include cognitive behavioral therapy and medication.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly does that mean? What is cognitive behavioral therapy?
So, cognitive behavioral therapy is the idea that the therapist sits with the individual and helps them think about their thoughts. Are the thoughts true? Where are the thoughts coming from? It really helps them. We do like a thought bubble activity, if we can say, and we put all your thoughts out and we help you to process what thoughts are true, what thoughts are things that you've made up based on maybe a perceived situation. So really the idea behind CBT is really exactly what it is: cognitive behavioral treatment, where we have them process their cognitive thoughts in a way that makes sense for their everyday life. So how does this thought impact your emotions, and how does this emotion impact your behavior? So how is what we think impacting what we do, is how cognitive behavior plays itself out in a therapeutic setting.
So is it a form of conditioning or reconditioning to a degree?
Reconditioning. It's reconditioning them to think about their thoughts, because a lot of time if we think about just many types of mental health disorders, if not all, it all begins in our mind, how we think. And then determine based on how we think determines how we act. So the good thing about CBT is it's helping them learn how to capture the thought, sit with the thought, and respond with whatever the thought is in an appropriate way that makes sense. Because a lot of times how we think is not always how it really is. So what CBT it slows down that individual so that they can focus on their processing and their thinking.
And is medication always included in that process, or does it not necessarily have to be?
No, it could be an and/or. Remember, when we talked before, we talk about the idea that medication is more psychotropic. A psychiatrist, medical doctor, CBT can be just done by a therapist or a licensed clinician who may not prescribe medication or may not have even access to a psychiatrist on staff to provide medication, but they can still do CBT with their clients.
Okay. So I want to take a moment to go to our socials. Our family members are talking. Tara Lynn is sharing that overcoming a 25-year crack addiction, obtaining an undergrad and graduate degree, understanding the feeling of wanting to be or look like anybody other than yourself. The environmental factors play a major role in your decision. Low self-esteem, rejection, abandonment. The list goes on. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. And she shares, yes, CBT. Yes, CBT. Malcolm is sharing with us that he is listening while he has the Eagles game on and he's laughing. Listen, Malcolm, you better share the score. That's what you better tell. You better tell us the stats. Don't you just tell me that you are watching the game. You know, I want to know what's going on with the Eagles. EAGLES. That's right. Don't get me started. Don't you get me started. And, you know, Brother Nasir already shared that he's at the game. Okay. He should be sending us stats. You know, we want to know. We want to know it all. Gary Bryant is checking in as well. He is sending love to everybody, saying good evening to the entire Word family. And Miss Rosalind, hi there, beautiful. She's checking in as well. She's sending a good evening to everybody. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, you know, wait Malcolm just sent us the score. That's right. The Eagles are up by 3. You hear that, family? For those of you who are listening and are not watching the Eagles game, or have no way of getting to it, the Eagles are up 3-0. That's right, Malcolm. Keep the stats coming. Okay, keep them coming. Thank you very much. So okay. So in not all cases, not in all cases is CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, a way of treatment. What other ways are there to treat body dysmorphic disorder?
Not all medication, Carol, is
Not all medication.
for BDD. CBT can be used for anything, no
Okay.
matter what the disorder is, but not all disorders require medication.
Okay.
But really, all you can really do is medication, therapy. For some people, depending upon how obsessed they are, it could be hospitalization. That's in extreme circumstances, but really, they're the only forms of treatment, and then really just a lot of self-reflection. The person really just looking in on themselves. But when we talk about self-reflection, typically that does need to partner with therapy, because you need someone to help you think about, why are you not satisfied with yourself? What happened in your life that made you feel like this part of your life or this part of your body is not beautiful? Really just helping them get to the root of why they may engage in the various things that they do with the obsession around their body.
So now this might be such a stretch, but I'm curious to know, because we've talked about this in past conversations. But when you talk about other I don't know if this is a disorder. It's like, is pica a disorder? That's a disorder.
Yes and no, but yes. To answer your question, yes, Carol.
Okay. The short answer is yes, but the long answer would be yes and no. Okay. So I'm thinking, so we're talking about people, and that's when you eat objects, items other than food, right? Non-food items.
Food items, yes.
Non-food items. So someone who like, I know there's people who hair, like when they have a condition. When we talk about an obsession, are they in the same line? Are they connected? Are they near each other at all? Or
so pica connects with some other disorders too. But yes, so go to where you're trying to get to, Carol. Yes, it can. It is the obsession. Just like people pull their hair. You ever see people that constantly maybe pull their hair or pull their skin? Yes, that is an obsession. That may not necessarily be body dysmorphic disorder, because that disorder is really just focusing on, I do not like a part of my body. I do not like this part of me. The other part says just maybe it could be anxiety. It can be something connected to the nervous system. It could be tons of other things that lead to that. However, or it could be obsession, obsessive compulsive disorder that could lead to that. But when we talk about BDD particularly, we're really focusing on an individual that is not happy with some part of how they look. Not necessarily. And as a result of that, you may deal with anorexia, because they may not eat, because they are not happy with their weight. They're not happy with the way they look in their clothing. So they engage in anorexic behaviors. But it's all looped in an umbrella, but it's not the same, if that makes sense.
When I tell you, every single time I talk with you, excuse me, there's so much that goes through my mind, because you all have to navigate so much, whether it's a condition, whether it's a disorder, no matter what it is, there's so much to sift through and so many things. Now, I know these two were not as close as some of the things that some of the challenges we've discussed, but there's so many things are so related.
They are. And people may have dual diagnoses, because there are sometimes that things are multi-tiered or multi-complex. So sometimes it's not just a one-size-fit-all approach to diagnosing. It could be body dysmorphic disorder and also struggling with anorexia. Like sometimes those things can potentially go. And when we talk about the symptoms, you were kind of talking about symptoms, Carol, it's also just comparing our body parts to others, constantly needing that reassurance around what we look like, not believing when other people tell us we look nice or we look great. We're like, no, we don't. We don't believe that about ourselves. Sometimes we have problems at school and work and in relationships due to the inability to focus on other people or other things because we're so
Right.
consumed with how we look or how we don't look. Constant plastic surgery is also a symptom. Not being satisfied with the appearance once we have got there. So maybe we say, I want to look like this. And then we finally look like this. And now we are still not happy. Those are some of the key symptoms that shows up when an individual is struggling with BDD.
So I want to go back to what Tara Lynn shared with us. She shared, talking about low self-esteem, rejection, abandonment, and all types of things. How do they all translate to BDD?
So low self-esteem, probably if I was sitting with, let's say, Tara Lynn, who shared, one, I would want to know, where did that low self-esteem come from? Where did that start for you in your life? A lot of the things we struggle with in our adulthood, unfortunately, connects back to our childhood. So the first question that I would want to know is, did you have parents that were overly critical of you? As you grew up not feeling good enough. You grew up not feeling like, you were as beautiful as you are, or were you in a relationship, or what is it that led to that sense of low self-esteem? And then when we talk about abandonment, maybe are they blaming themselves for the abandonment? Maybe they feel like if they way, the person wouldn't have left them. I even think, as I'm saying this, of a client, and the client was in a relationship and the partner had an affair with someone who looked totally opposite of my client. And my client became obsessed with doing her best to look like the individual that her partner had an affair with.
No.
Extremes, because in her mind, that's a part of her abandonment trauma. Because now you left me. Now I feel like, why did you leave me? She began to blame herself. She began to feel like, if I look like this, maybe you wouldn't have left me. And so that then leads to BDD, because now I'm obsessed with looking like a certain way based on a perceived narrative that I've created in my mind.
No, that's horrible. That is horrible. Whew, family. Oh my goodness. So listen, if you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with Dr. Z because it's Thursday, and that's what we do on Thursdays with Dr. Z. That's what it's called. One of our family members is checking in. Pastor Daniel Black. He is sending love to everyone. He shares a good evening, family. Well, good evening to you as well, Pastor. That's Pastor Daniel Black of Gospel Temple Baptist Church. That's right there in South Philly. I know you know. I know you know. But Pastor Black is joining us, and we're always grateful to have you with us. Always, always. Family, we're talking about body dysmorphic disorder. If you have a comment or a question, feel free to share it on our socials, or you can even call us. And you know that, but I'm just telling you anyway. You can do that by dialing 215 634 8065. Or you can even call us toll free at 1 866 361 0900. So Tara Lynn also shared something else. She was saying that in some cases, body dysmorphic disorder, or BDD, aka BDD, can it come about because of our perception, and because of the things we tell ourselves that are not true. And that's to what you were just sharing with us about the individual who obsessed over the new partner of her former partner. That that's so scary to me. That is so scary. I mean, because I know we are fragile and we are delicate, but to know that, especially since her emotions were involved and there's always delicacy there, and fragility. She had a broken heart, and here he's moved on to someone else, and she became obsessed with wanting to look like that person. That's so scary.
It is
That's so
scary.
scary.
Scary, and it really speaks to how powerful trauma is, right?
Mhm.
Trauma really impacts all of us in various ways,
Mm.
and for her, that's how it showed up. For someone else, it could show up as maybe as major depressive disorder. It's trauma is severe, and it impacts all of us in different ways in how we respond to that trauma. For her,
Right.
it was the obsession of not feeling good enough, but really, even when we get to the root of it, the thing that she was working on was already something that she didn't like about herself prior. So really, it was idea of we could just help a person say, okay, I do not have to be obsessed with it, but I can say that this is something I want to change about myself. And
Right.
not doesn't necessarily have to be an obsession. It can be a part of my journey. But when we start to consume our mind with things we see on social media, other people, you all talked
Right.
about the BBLs earlier. That's when the constant BBLs, let's say that's when it shifts from just augmenting and changing maybe something to an obsession with it. That's the difference.
Wow. Wow. Family, it's time for us to take a break, but know that the phone lines are open and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. When we come back, Malcolm, I'm going to expect a full update. I want to know what quarter. I want to know what down. I want to know the score, where we are with the Eagles game. That's EAGLES. In the meantime, family, we're going to commercial break, but stay with us because we'll be right back.
What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day, or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90, or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership, or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for?
Thousands of kids across Philadelphia are trapped in failing, violent schools. Our kids deserve better. And it's time for lawmakers in our community to give our kids a fair shot. Right now, lawmakers are considering a program that would offer kids a free scholarship to go to a better school. Kids in Philly would be eligible for a scholarship up to $10,000. This would make sure every student in Philly has equal access to a good education. It's time for kids in our community to get the help they need. Tell our lawmakers to do the right thing. Visit passlifeline.com today. Paid for by Commonwealth Action.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $596 million. $596 million. So don't forget to play at your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians every day. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
This is Minister Rodney Muhammad inviting you to a new society, the National Agenda for Educational Change in Our Community. This Sunday, the 17th at 11 a.m. at Mosque number 12's new location. We're at 5727 Germantown Avenue. Join us this Sunday for this important meeting at 11 a.m. For information, call us at 215-908-5202.
Hey, Dad. How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Can I touch this? Where does sand come from? Is this tree good for climbing? What happens if I mix these two things together? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Storing your guns securely is the best way to prevent family fire, including unintentional shootings. For more information on safe gun storage and ways to keep your family safe, visit endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org.
What do we keep in the attic? What's this thing called? Can I ride my bike backwards?
Like I said, kids are curious It's up to us to keep them safe. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We've been talking in this hour with Dr. Z about body dysmorphic disorder. That is Dr. ZENIDA Driver. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because it's Thursday, and on Thursdays, we have Thursday with Dr. Z. And I don't know about you, but I've been learning some things. I've really been learning some things. That last scenario that we were talking about just before the commercial break, I was sharing with Dr. Z, and for those who missed it or didn't catch it, I was saying that that's really scary. Trauma, the effects of trauma are really scary. It can be. It can be. It can be. We had a family member visit with us last night, and he was talking about how he used his trauma for good, like how he's been triumphant in his journey thus far, and how he plans to keep moving forward. But not everybody is able to process trauma in a good way. Sometimes we get caught, sometimes we get caught up. We become overwhelmed with our trauma, and we can't see the positivity in it, and that's so human. That is so human. That's so human. And I'm listening to you when you shared the story, and you said that she had a broken heart. Basically, she had a broken heart. She was still pining for the man she loved, and he had moved on. He was with someone else. So she wanted to look exactly like this woman, but that still would not have. That's just so painful. Oh, my heart just goes out. My heart just goes out. It's just so painful. In this time, I do want to share, because I did ask for a recap for the Eagles game. So family, thank you so much. Pastor Black has obliged. Malcolm, you're slipping. You're slipping. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. But Pastor Black is sharing that the Eagles are up 3 in the third quarter. Yes, I wasn't aware which quarter, so now I'm even happier. I'm even happier. Miss Julie is checking in. Miss Julie is sharing that she's having a day of revelations. She writes, "Good evening, WURD host, guests, producers, and listeners." She's following her instincts. It is so important to have self-esteem and confidence. She received a notice from her bank. She replied in writing. Her instincts walk in your written reply. Glad to hear customer service affirm. Saved her time and less worry. You know what? That's what you call trusting and believing. That's what you call faith. That's what you call leaning on your faith. And I'm so glad that worked in a positive way for you, Miss Julie. Before we move further, I do want to go to our phone lines. One of our family members is calling in to join the conversation. Hello, and thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Carol, for receiving my call. And good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Dr. Driver. Good evening, Carol. Carol, you're
Hi,
actually
Miss
speaking with
Audrey.
Audrey. I
Yes.
am Audrey.
I recognize this as Miss
You know
Audrey.
what? This has been some kind of a day. Yes, it is a walk in faith. Not only that, I heard of documentaries. Documentaries is something that I heard on Tanya Pendleton's. She's a journalist.
Yes, she
And
is.
here it
Our
is. I go
beloved.
all the way in town. I beloved. I go all the way in town. I get there early. Generally, I try to get to a place early. How about the security desk had said they saw no information whatsoever regarding the important health meeting tonight. In other words, it was the Board of Health here in our city who canceled at the last minute. So what got me was, okay, so the idea of it being canceled, it seems as though they must have pulled that information off quickly, because the security personnel had mentioned to me that whenever there is a meeting regarding the city, regarding city entities, whether it's PGW, whether it's PICO, whomever it is, that they have a way of not bringing that to their attention quickly. So something wrong with that, because we, the people, we those who live here in the city, we try to get to these places. Some of us, you know, it takes an effort, it takes money. It sometimes works against our health or what have you to get all the way there. You know, no fault of their own. I'm saying that they have got to get better at that. They really do. So that was my other revelation, that, you know, although you may get an affirmation from whomever is in that circle of, you know, bringing it to you, when you get to a place, you're not expecting that it's something that went wrong. So, yeah, so today was a day of revelations. And I wanted people to know about fax numbers also, that this is my second time this week sending something via fax. 2 fax numbers I was given from a different government entity, and it wasn't received on their end, and it wasn't received on my end. So, people, there's one thing I have noticed: whenever we have a major disaster nationally or internationally, something goes wrong with technology. So they have to give us more time to get it done, because we do get nervous about, did it get there in time? Do I have to worry? And those matters. So people out there that work in technology, please let your management know that, you know, we know it's not perfect, but those who are receiving at these different agencies, they have to be more understanding about these situations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Audrey. Thank you so much for calling and always for sharing. Miss Audrey always keeps us abreast of what is going on, and I so appreciate you for doing that. Family, if you just joined us or if you just tuned in, you are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. It's Thursday, so we're talking with Dr. Z, Dr. ZENIDA Driver, that is to be exact. And we've been talking in this hour about body dysmorphic disorder. We've been talking a lot of things about it, quite honestly. Dr. Z has been sharing and has been breaking it down for us. And Malcolm just set me straight. He said it's the first quarter. It's still early for the Eagles game for those who have an interest. He is sharing that it is 3-0. The Eagles still is. That's what he shared with me. That's what he shared. Pastor Black was keeping me updated as well. So I'm so grateful, because you all know I want to know how our birds are flying. I want to know what's going on as well. So I'm looking at the time, and I see that we're coming close to the end of our episode. Dr. Z, what will you leave us with tonight?
Really, just if someone knows someone that's struggling with BDD, or if you're a person who's struggling with BDD, the great thing is, you know, I'm a big advocate for therapy, right? Go to therapy, sit with someone that you can talk to help you process your thoughts, your feelings, to figure out, why do I feel like this about myself? And then maybe after we've done that and we've processed and we still feel this way, then maybe let that be the guiding light that say, okay, I'm willing to make these changes within myself. But let's be careful not to jump on the social media trend and just change ourselves because that's what social media tells us we should look like. So that would be my words of wisdom that I would give someone if they were struggling or know someone struggling with BDD.
You hear that, family? Did you hear that? What Dr. Z said. I hope you hold on to that. I truly, truly, truly do. First of all, you're beautiful. Let me be the first to tell you that, if nobody else has told you that today. But keep that in your pocket, because I want you to repeat that to yourself every day, because you are. You are absolutely beautiful, just the way that you are. You know, and I'm speaking to myself as well, because you all have heard me tell you, you know, how much I struggle with what I look like, with my weight and everything else. But guess what? At the core of it all, I know that I'm all right, because I'm a child of God. I know that I'm blessed. I know that I know that I'm good. I'm good. And I know it's as a result of what I'm telling myself too. You know, why I feel the way that I do. But family, here we are. It is that time. It is that time. It is that time. It is that time. Dr. Z, thank you so much. We will see you next week. We will see you next week. Oh my goodness. Woo! Family. So, praising God. Boom, all blessings. Thank you. Thank you so much, quite honestly. Just for all the love that you always share and just thank you. I just want to say that, and I want you to know that I mean it with every fiber of my being. To all of our callers and to those of you who contributed via our socials as well, thank you. Thank you to our guest, Dr. Z, for sharing time, energy, space, knowledge, spirit, and attention with us. To the entire WURD family, especially Niall Jackson, Nick Steptoe, for all that the both of you do. Family, just sending my condolences once again to the family of Chris Odom. Wishing you a great weekend. Remember that we're all in this together, so be good to you, but be good to those around you, family. I love you, but God loves you so much more. You hear me? And don't you ever forget that. You have a great rest of your night, and be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. for another episode of Love and Life right here on WURD. Good night, family.